Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading session. Hang on here a second while I get screen share going. So yesterday, the market gave back a lot of their initial gains, didn't they? We saw the market rally strong out of yesterday's open, then settle in a bit. This is the Eagle, by the way, the Eagle Trend Trader on the NASDAQ. And then we got a rule of three style signal and a bit of a reversal going into the close. The market finishing the day somewhere around the 49.40 area and opening this morning near 49.50. So we have a little bit of a gap here below the market, just a tiny one. We'll see whether they try to trade into that this morning. Right now, a little indecisive. You can see here on our Hawk scalper. Very, very sideways going into the pre-market. Producing a red bar buy signal. Now, the red bar buy signal, actually one of these signals that we can take either way. You can look to buy the red bar buy higher, or you can also look to sell it if it trades down below the low. The Falcon also looking a little bit bullish here at the moment. We're getting a possible late filter entry signal. And we should be getting a comparable signal here on the Raptor. We just did. Do we get a chance for a second push on this one? This is essentially a double pullback signal on the Raptor. And what time is it? Ooh, it's really early. Usually I like to wait a little bit before I jump into the market, but this is a double pullback signal here on the Raptor. And I think that stop will do for starters. Looking for some of that early market momentum, hopefully, to get into a decent trade here. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my stop here for the moment. I don't want it to roll just yet. All right, well, we got to see the buyers come into the market here and try to push out above these highs. That will give me an opportunity to roll my stops a little bit. Come on, get up there. obvious resistance here at 49.56. Just curious, have we produced our eagle signal? Yes, we have. This is also going to be our first eagle signal on the morning, right here, that buy, our first in sync signal. Oh, come on now. All right, so if I can get a couple bars moving here in my favor, that'll give me an opportunity to roll my stops a little bit. And I should probably take, oh, no, don't want them up there. I'll roll them here. There we go. Come on. Let's get over the hump. There we go. All right, come on, get up there. Oh, you scoundrels. Come on. Come on, just one more swing. If we can get this bar here to finish higher, we should be in pretty good shape, and I'll go with the more aggressive stop strategy. Okay, at the very least, I'm going to go, oh, you stinkers. All right, we'll go with parabolics here for now. No, I'm going to go with the bar high and low. There we go. All right, it's put up or shut up time. Come on. You know you want to. Get up there. I'll just help you along a little bit, give you a little nudge. Yesterday was like this as well. The market took a long time to commit, and they're starting to get a little bit more bearish on me now. Come on, get up there. All right, so I've got the stop exactly at break even. I don't even have the one tick, so this could end up costing me a commission, but small price to pay. Come on, get up there. No, they're not going to go. too long. No follow through. All right, well, got a break-even stop out on it. We'll see here in a moment whether that was a good call or not. The red bar buy, probably the best opportunity there this morning. Easy scalp on that red bar buy. And this whole 49, 58, 59, 60 area, I do believe that is a number that we ran into a little bit yesterday. Sure enough, right there, 49.55, right through the 49.65 area. So we're trading right in the middle of that zone. You can see that these bars here had quite a bit of volume associated with them, especially this one. That's why that number is so familiar. We spent a fair amount of time hanging around 49.60 yesterday. And the next resistance line here at 49.64 and 3/4, essentially 49.65. Currently struggling a little bit with the primary resistance. And we'll see whether we get any follow through from there. Oh, way to go, Mark. Mark says, I got a better fill than expected and managed to eke $100 out of that late filter entry signal. Well done. Oh, I may have gotten out a little bit too early. You see the buyers coming back here now, giving us a reasonably strong bar. Yeah, I might have got a little bit too quick on the exit. Yeah, there they go, pushing a little bit higher still. Oh, but not much. Here come the sellers again. Kind of putting the brakes on the buyers. We're about 1/4 of the hour, about 15 minutes into the session. This is typically the time of day where it's possible to get a false signal. We're just kind of on hold here for a moment. And everything kind of sideways again. Notice this huge block of selling that went through after a couple of buying spikes. And here come the buyers again on the Geiger counter, trying to put the boots to the sellers. Oh, we're getting yet another buy signal here on the Raptor, and a basic trendline touch signal here on the Falcon. Oh, Mark pressing the trade. He says I took the second trade on the trend change signal and just took another $100 on that one. Nicely done. He says now things get interesting. Yes, definitely. The open not as strong as what we saw yesterday, obviously. And I'm a little conflicted myself as to which way the market may go from here. Remember the highs, yesterday's highs, around actually our resistance line here at 49.64 3/4. 49.64, somewhere in there. I'm thinking a retrace to the hard edge may be in order. Or not. Oh, they're sticky today. Pretty well balanced, it seems. I don't know if I want to play this as another double pullback signal here on the Raptor. The signals produced rather close together. Technically, I suppose it is a double pullback. Typically, the double pullback makes a slightly deeper move into the trading band before coming out with your second signal. This is a very shallow double pullback and not exactly what I would call textbook. Okay, the seller's starting to get a little busier here. It's getting some wide bars near the highs. That's fairly suggestive that this high is going to hold at least for a few minutes. almost near the end of opening range. Opening range, typically that first half hour in the morning. That's when traders, especially the institutional traders, seem to get busy. I don't know. It's very, very neutral. Just when you think one side is getting stronger, the other side steps in and nixes that idea. Visually, anyways, the upward momentum seems to be dying off, doesn't it? Look at our Geiger counter. Look at that. It's almost a perfect sine wave, just like on the ocean. Up and down, just seesawing back and forth. All right, trying to work a macro pullback. The Falcon already starting to get a little bit bearish. Our trend line and filter have changed over. All right, here we go. Things getting slightly more bearish. I think we can officially consider this a pullback now. That's a tempting soft edge sell. Do we consider this to be the test of the extreme already, and we try to short the soft edge? Or do we wait for a proper setup? I guess that's a moot point now, isn't it? Oh, why do I always end up taking an order just before the top of the hour? This is the exact same price that I tried to buy from, coincidentally. Oh, I agree, Peter. Peter says, good morning, Eric. I think after Wednesday you should take a break from trading. I know I am. More important things to do. Yes, of course, with the holidays just around the corner. I will finish out the week, although Thursday and especially Friday are likely to be very, very quiet sessions. And then we'll be taking a break over the Christmas New Year period and then resuming again in the new year. I need a little bit of help here on the seller's part, though. We need those highs to hold. So with the soft edge sell, of course, here on the Raptor, what we're looking for is a move back to the hard edge. The soft edge sell, since it is a counter trend signal, means that first off, we have to have a trend. And secondly, we need to have a test of the extreme. In this case, the extreme is the high. So I considered this little move here my test of the extreme when I tried to short, but it looks like we might be getting a larger test of the extreme. And hopefully we're going to see that turn and the market continue lower. So a little bit early perhaps on the signal. That's nice. It's good to see the sellers showing up. Come on, give me a couple of bars here and I can look at bringing my stops in. Come on. There we go. Come on, let's get down below that low. So this technically could be your soft edge sell signal also. You may not want to enter right on the hash mark. Perhaps entering below that swing low will be a little bit more predictable. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Let's go. There you go. Come on. Somebody take 49.52. Oh my gosh. What are they holding at? 49.52. So we need to see 51.75. Oh, you stinkers, you. All right, I've had enough. We'll take the trade to break even. There, we'll hold it there. Peter, you make an excellent comment here, and I'm going to get to it in just a moment. I'm holding my breath, trying to get the market to go lower here. There we go, 51.75. Come on, you know you want to. There, 51.75. Oh! What is holding you guys up? All right, Peter asks, hi Eric. This morning you mentioned, oops, sorry, Natalia, I'll get to yours in just a second. Peter asks, Eric, do you ever trade whereby if you have 3 losers in a row, you call it a day rather than trying to get back to even? And do you ever call it a day when you have 3 profitable trades in a row? Yes, to both. If you ever have 2 or 3 high probability signals fail, and I'm talking the really high probability signals, things like your first micro macro cross signals on your hawk. It's not that the signal can't fail, but let's say, and we're just going to pretend here for a moment, that you take a first micro macro cross to buy, it doesn't work out. So you figure, okay, the market's not going to go up, so you do a first micro macro cross to sell, and that also doesn't work out. All of a sudden you should be thinking, all right, something's not right with the marketplace. I've just taken 2 very high probability signals. The chance that the one going up fails and the one going down fails is remote at best. So I may choose to try one more high probability signal, and if that fails also, then I'm just going to resign myself that the market is in one of those situations where it's just not going to cooperate with me today. It's rare, but it can happen. It seems to happen about once every quarter or so that the market just gets a little weird. And I always have a pain threshold. So it can either be a dollar amount or I use a percentage of my capital. If I take a 5% drawdown on the day, 5% of my capital, then I say, okay, that's enough. I'll go do something else. Because 5% is an amount that I can recover from in a day or 2 or maybe 3. So it's not going to decimate your account. Um, and same thing if you are in a winning streak. There are going to be days, and you'll recognize them, don't worry, but there's going to be days where trading is the equivalent to shooting fish in a barrel, as they say. You just, one signal after the next, there's just insane follow through. And those kinds of days, I think the most I've ever traded on a day like that was a dozen trades and 8 out of the 12 worked out. But most of the time, I will have a trade quota where I'm only looking for 2 or 3 or maybe 4 signals in a day, depending on the day. Now, I think a trade quota does a lot to improve your overall profitability because first off, if you know you're only going into the session looking for 2 trades, that enables you to be very particular, doesn't it? You don't have to chase every signal. You can hold out for the juicy looking signals. You can hold out for the first micro macro cross. You can hold out for, a trend change signal that looks strong or whatever. You can afford to be particular if you know you're only going to trade a couple times a day. So yes, Peter, yes to both. I do have a max drawdown, and I will also consider if I take, say, 2 or 3 failures on a high probability signal, I'll consider that maybe the market's not cooperating. And likewise on the profit side, I hate to give up my hard-earned profit. Natalia asks, hi Eric, this morning you mentioned there was a double pullback signal on the Raptor. Were you talking about the price action that formed overnight? Let's take a look at that. So yes, you could consider the overnight price action when you're looking at these double pullback signals. The double pullback signal, let's see if I can't find you one that's a little bit more textbook. I suppose this one would work. A double pullback is a continuation signal. So you want to see something resembling a trend or the beginnings of a trend. Then the market goes into the cloud, comes out, produces a signal. So that's signal number 1. Then it does it again. Goes into the cloud, comes out, produces another signal. That's your double pullback signal. We anticipate the market to start doing something off that second signal. This morning it was really close to the open, and we had the market come into the cloud and produce a signal, and then go into the cloud and produce a signal. Now this, you can see, is not a textbook double pullback signal. Was that the one I took? No, 633. Sorry. It was the next one that I took. But yes, it's okay to consider the overnight. Now it looks like I got tagged on break even on the other one. So I think we got the profit on one. Yes, we did. Hooray for us. And then we got tapped at break even on the other. Let's see now that we're flat on that, if I can find you another double pullback signal. Oh, here we go. This one's practically textbook right there. So remember, it's a continuation signal. The market is rallying. It comes into the band, produces a signal, comes into the band, produces a signal. It's that second signal where we're going to anticipate that the market's going to try to do something. It's going to try to recover the trend at that point. You can see that this is also very similar to a bull flag or bear flag, and I can almost bet you dollars to donuts if you looked at a hawk, this would be very close to a 4-arrow consolidation or maybe even a red bar buy signal. So because the Raptor incorporates programming from all 3 birds, you're going to get a little bit of signal synchronization between your tools. It's a pretty big word for this morning. But yes, this one right here is practically a textbook double pullback. I'll remove that so you can see it a little better. So once again, it's a continuation signal. So you need something resembling a trend. The market drifts into the cloud. Sometimes it will reach all the way back to the hard edge, but it will come out, it will produce a signal, it will drift back into the cloud again, come out, produce another signal. This morning's was a little choppier, but again, I was looking for some early momentum, trying to get into the trade a little bit earlier. Good question, though, Natalia. Thanks for asking. That's what I'm here for. Everyone, if you have questions, please ask. All right, we're in a little bit of a holding pattern right now, I think. Got yellow bars forming here on the hawk. Red bar buy here on the eagle off the hard edge, but we're still against the ATR. And our falcon waffling a little bit. All right, so they're very neutral. You can see we're trading right in the middle of today's range. So the high of the day up here around 49.63 and a quarter to be precise. The low of the morning 49.47 quarter. And we're stuck right in the middle. Market asks, how many days do you have loaded on your day ranger to get the average 30-day? Mark says, I've got 45 days loaded, and it's not displaying. I've got 40 days, Mark. Did you try refreshing? Sometimes you need to refresh. If you reload your NinjaScript, make sure you don't have an active trade on. If you reload your NinjaScript, it may rectify that. If not, try removing the day ranger and reinstalling it. Got a green bar sell here. I don't know if I want to try that. we should see a retest of the low here. Ooh. Maybe I'll just throw a single on there. Try to run it out. And I'll do it below the low of this bar. I don't know, I'm not really comfortable shorting into this market. What time is it? Oh, taking trades every half hour, it seems. And shorting 49.55 again. Yeah, 49.55 and a quarter. I've sold that number twice now. So this will be the third time. Come on, get down there. There we go. Okay, so we've hit the break-even trigger. Takes a lot of pressure off, but don't look back yet. Somewhere around this 49.49, 49.50 area would be nice to recover to. This would effectively be a triple bottom, however. That could be insanely strong. Okay, well, if the sellers are serious, they got to start stringing a few bars together here, or we're going to see a reversal. All right, here we go. Here's the big test now, zeroing in on the 49.50 zone. And if I were smart, I'd probably just take the profit. I don't even want to look. Not yet. Doing my best to be patient, because if we break through these lows, we know there's active selling down here, right? So if all these buyers, pardon me, I said active selling, all these buyers, well, their stop loss orders are right down here. And their stop loss orders, of course, would be sell orders. If you were a buyer, your stop loss order is a sell order. So if we see the market just dip its toe into here, we're going to start executing a bunch of sell orders. And that could lead to a fairly brisk move lower, which is what I'm hoping for. All right, so you can see the buyers getting a little bit more active here now. Come on, sellers. Let's get below the low. There we go. All right, so let's see. Will somebody take the other side? What's the low? 48.50, 49.48.5. So we're looking for the ticker to go 49.48 quarter, or even 49.48. Oh, they're laying it on now. Look at how steady that bar is. Oh my gosh, you just gotta know there's a heap of orders going through the market right now at that price. As the buyers start buying and the sellers try to absorb all that buying pressure. Oh, and they did, at least for the short term. That's okay. It was still a profitable trade. It's hard to tell which order is which. I'm just checking my order platform here. It's hard to tell which order is which because they're all filling. All my orders are 49.55 quarter. 49.55 quarter. Okay, here come the sellers again. We've got a first micro macro cross here on the hawk, which I'm going to be late on. Shoot. Oops, I don't want it right there. I want it right there. Oh dear, I was looking for a little bit more of a breakout below that low, and I'm not getting it right now. So this was the signal I wanted, the first micro macro cross, but then when I saw it break the lows, I just punched in an order. And looks like I sold the low of the day. Woohoo! I should have maybe let it go by, but I thought we were just going to see the market really unwind to the short side. But not yet. Wow, is this thing on? Did I drop my data feed? What's going on here? Oh yeah, the numbers are going. They're just locked at 49, 49 half. Come on, sellers. 49, 49 quarter. Oh baby, come on. Just give me a couple of the ticks here. Come on. All right, let's do it your way then. No, these lows are starting to hold, which is not good for me. Definitely need to see some aggressive selling. Come on. I know I'm not giving them any room here, and that may turn around to bite me. The better stop still up here around the 49.59 area. I can't bring myself to leave it back there. Francisco's asking, what data feed do you use? Currently I'm on Continuum. I was also using Kinetic. Come on. Doggone it. Francisco asks, is IB feed good? I do not get the same charts. IB, of course, for those of you who don't know, Interactive Brokers. Um, you'll have to ask your broker to make sure you are getting tick data. I know sometimes Interactive Brokers only provide you with time-based charts and not tick data because DTS uses a range style bar. You need to have tick data. Now you can always, I do believe they offer tick data, but there is an additional charge for it. If not, you can arrange for tick data with NinjaTrader, either through Continuum or Kinetic, which are the two services I believe that they deal with. I know, I don't understand why Interactive Brokers, well, I don't understand a lot of things about Interactive Brokers. I really don't. Don't get me wrong, they're a fine brokerage, but I think they could be better. They could offer more services, such as tick data. But ask your broker, Francisco. They'll know. And what you need is tick data. Just tell them you're running a Renko style chart on your software. And if he says something to the effect of, oh, well, our data doesn't support Renko charts, then you can ask him if he can provide it for you, if you can subscribe to tick data. Francisco asked which brokers would be better. Well, it depends a little bit what part of the world you live in. For instance, I live in British Columbia, Canada, and we have very limited access to futures brokers, but that's another story. If you live just about anywhere else in North America, you've got a lot of assortment, but if you're running NinjaTrader, you really should be trading with NinjaTrader, with the NinjaTrader brokerage, because they support the software. Their broker fees are very competitive. They took over Mirus Futures, I guess, about a year ago, so it's not like they're pikers. They're a very large brokerage. Oh, yeah, okay, so you're in Florida. Francisco says I'm in Florida. Um, Check out NinjaTrader. You will be able to get NinjaTrader in Florida, definitely. Oh, see, and Ryman says I use Global, and I pay $15 a month for Ninja 7. I've heard good things about Global, and Global actually one of the few brokerages or US-based brokerages available to Canadians as well. I take it you've been happy with them, Ryman? Well, Mark says, I've been with NinjaTrader for 3 years. He says, I've had no issues, very competitive fees. He says, I'm happy with them. And Ryman says he's pleased with Global as well. Oh, Peter, a fellow Canuck in Toronto, says, I use Global. He says, I like them. Come on. Doggone it. I didn't. I thought we were going to hold the line there. Francisco says Ninja has 3 brokers. Which is better? Which 3 do they have? As far as I know, NinjaTrader is their own brokerage. In Canada, I know we have a couple. All right, well, that was an unfortunate stop out. Didn't get nearly the follow through on that breakout, which makes me think we're going to see the market head higher from here now. And the thing, too, when you're shopping for a broker is shop the broker. Ask them questions. See whether they sound like they want your business or whether you're just another number. Things that I look for in a brokerage. If they have phone support, I want to be able to talk to somebody when I need to. If they have a direct line to the desk, so if my computer crashes or I have a power failure, I can pick up my cell phone and I can call the trading desk and cancel my orders. Competitive commissions, of course, because they do add up, but the price should not be the be-all, end-all. As most things in life, you do get what you pay for. That's not to say you need to pay $40 round turn. But you shouldn't be tossing a broker over for a nickel a trade either. But what I would do, Francisco, is I would call them. Call them, talk to them. And when you're talking to your broker, don't be shy about your level of experience or inexperience, as the case may be. They can tell anyway. they can tell, so there's no point in fluffing it. If you're limited on experience, then just say, I'm new to this, and you can make yourself open to your broker's advice, but remember, ultimately, it's your money, so the final decision always needs to be yours. Peter says, Eric, I did my 3 trades for the day and I'm up $40. Terrific. It's always nice finishing in the black. I was going to call it a day, but the questions from viewers are keeping me interested. This is really above and beyond service. Do your viewers agree? Well, Peter, honestly, that's what I'm here for, is to help you guys out, help you learn your DTS software, to be sure, but I'll help any way I can. just looking here, wondering whether or not I want to try to buy this market up again. You see we're zeroing in on these highs. Here, we'll take a look here at the hawk. So getting back near this 49.59 area where I had that initial stop. Took the early stop out down here at 49.53, and I think I'm going to be glad that I did. Yeah, like Mark says, join for learning the software, stay for the people. You know, if it were possible, it would be nice to have an open mic room, but of course, with so many people in attendance, it would quickly turn chaotic. I wonder if we're going to get one more trade in here. I'm not liking the sideways nature of the market. And now we're getting a little bit of a reaction. See you, Ryman. Happy holidays to you too. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All right. Well, they're holding steady here at the 49.49 area. Well, no real signals either. We're just blah. Do, 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 do. We'll see here in a minute whether the sellers try to follow through off these highs, try to push the market down again. Okay. Getting a little bit more follow through now off of this red bar buy signal that we had. Also a first micro macro cross. Oh, just when I thought we were going to get some follow through, market puts the brakes on it again. Well, we could be on hold here for a little while. That first micro-macro cross keeps haunting me. You see, it's the same thing in reverse. If we break out above the high here, we could get some bullish follow-through. Because, of course, the exit orders for the sellers here and here and here are all buy orders, of course. Did this one hit its target? Had I scalped in and out, yes, I would have got my target. Oh, but I was late getting into that one anyhow. Yes, I remember. Just looking to see whether the signal had failed or not. Well, I think we're going to close up shop here. For the moment, the market getting pretty quiet. I would actually favor a move lower, I think, versus trying to buy it. Oh, before we go, Francisco's asking, what do you think about crude oil today? Well, crude oil very dull today, Francisco. The market opened right here and hasn't done anything. This is on the Falcon, of course. You would have gotten a trendline touch signal right out of the open. I'm not sure it found its profit objective yet, however. It's the problem with trading crude. Doggone it. Be nice. Oh, okay, that's definitely wrong. I think we need to reload. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, that amount is wrong, and I don't know why. So let's see, we had a 20 tick target, $200. So from 57, 67, no, we haven't. We came up close to our profit objective. We would have hit our break even and likely been stopped at break even, assuming you were running a break even target. But crude oil seems to be making all its moves in the overnight now, which is odd. That's very odd for crude. Okay. Francisco, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Francisco writes, would setting an entry... okay, this would be an early entry, I see. So which market are you looking at, Francisco? Are you still looking at crude oil, or are you looking at the NASDAQ or something else? Okay, on the NASDAQ. Is it on the hawk or any of the tools in particular before I go through an explanation here? Okay. All right, so what Francisco is asking, oh, on the hawk, okay, very good. Okay, so if I understand the question correctly, Francisco is asking, would setting an entry just above or below the default ATR 2.618 in the direction of the trend line be a good signal? So I think what Francisco is asking is it okay to place an order to short if the market breaks the ATR line? Or, if we were looking back here, is it okay to buy if the market breaks the ATR line? You might be surprised to know that that's actually a trading strategy. That's one of the ways that traders use the ATR. There's a couple of ways that traders use ATR. One is as a filter, and I do believe if you go into your indicators and you look at your hawk, I do believe that you can set, oh yeah, see, you can use the chandelier mode as a filter. And I guess by default it's already on. If you want more signals, you can turn that off. So one way to use it is to use it as a filter, similar to the way that we use the ATR line as a filter here in the Eagle for looking for signals to be in sync. So in other words, you're getting a first micro macro cross, you want it to be in sync with the ATR, in other words, the ATR to be below, and then you would anticipate the market to rally. Another way that traders use ATR, and this is not a way that I recommend, by the way, but they use the ATR as an always in type of signal system. So when the price trades through ATR, they buy, and when price trades through the ATR, they sell. The only problem with that is you're going to get killed when the market spends a lot of time moving sideways. However, when it trends, it's as good as any system, I suppose. All markets or all signals perform well in trending markets. By the way, parabolics are also technically an always-in system, and they work the same way. When the parabolic breaches, you would buy, and then when it breaches the other way, you would sell. Now, the way we use these things is more as a filter or as, obviously, a stop strategy. Personally, Francisco, I look to capitalize on the signal itself. So if I have a first micro macro cross signal, I would expect the market to rally. And I don't just simply buy because the ATR has been breached. I hope that makes sense, and I hope I answered your question. Yeah, Francisco says, yes, but with the trend change and only with the trend line. So if you're getting a breach of the trend line and an entry, it's not a signal that I tend to focus on. And that's not to say it doesn't have any validity to it. I can see a couple instances here. You know, a trend line breach and then an ATR breach and prices rallied up. Here we had a trend line breach and an ATR breach and prices went down. I suppose you'd have to do a little bit of back testing on it. But you see, even if you did this one, the trend line breach and the ATR breach, you're shorting from right here. But we already had a green bar sell signal, so we're selling from up here. So you're already selling earlier at a better price. I don't know if it would add anything to the reliability. Like I said, I'd have to do some back testing on it to know for sure, but usually I just stick to the high probability signals myself. And you know, if you feel better about using the ATR as a filter to make sure everything is in sync with the signal, I know Ray Burke was always keen on that. But it's a good question. All right. So now we are continuing sideways. I think we're going to button up the room. Quick reminder, tomorrow's session will be at our open house venue. And hopefully the markets will pick up a little bit. Today's trading a little bit sideways, but we'll see what tomorrow brings. Talk to you then. Bye for now.